Why, hello there. I don't even think that you know what you're in store for. We are going to be doing something that I am titling the ultimate reading vlog. We do the ultimate book videos, which I feel like maybe this is kind of reminiscent of, but I feel like in those book videos I never really do, I feel like, deeply reading. In this video you can expect we're gonna be reading multiple books in today's video. It's gonna be a reading vlog. I want to update you guys on like my audiobook experiences and what I like to do while listening to audiobooks, because it's been something that's actually been really helping me lately, like listening to audiobooks and doing activity. Some new things that I've been trying out with like reading and reviewing and new platforms and everything that I'm trying out. So buckle up, let's get into the ultimate reading vlog. First book up of the reading vlog is going to be Daydream by Hannah Grace. I'm reading this. This is my book club book selection for September. So if you guys want to join, I always have the Discord down below. There's also a Patreon if you are interested in that. Kind of rebranded that recently. This is what we're reading. So I'm filming like different little in-depth like spoilery thoughts. Obviously this reading vlog is going to be completely spoiler free, but first and foremost I am, get this, 9 pages in, having a riveting time. But in those 9 pages I read the author's note. I have a lot of respect for authors no matter what I think of the book itself. I feel like it's something very scary to like put work out there that you have like constructed and like really thought about for such a long time. It's very scary and vulnerable to put any piece of anything like that out. I mean, that's literally how I feel about my YouTube videos. Like, not that it's on the same form of creation and like these masterpieces of like literature, but I'm saying like the sentiment is the same of like putting something out that you worked very hard on and like having it be constructed out into the world for other people to criticize. But also because in the author's note she talked about how Henry is probably the most of herself that she's put in a character, that she puts little bits of herself in every character that she writes, but like Henry is like the most out of anybody so far. And I just want to say like that's just even more respectful to me, like to literally put out a book and then be like, yeah, by the way, this character is like very much inspired by myself. Like, that's so scary, and I really respect for doing that, because I feel like it also just adds a personal touch, and you can tell when an author really cares about curating this story and the representation in it. So I'm excited for that. Thoughts so far? Will, he is the worst. It started off and I was like, oh, he's not that bad. Like I said, not too far into this book right now. That's going to be the first book that we're reading. I do want to talk about and say a thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is none other than Fable. Listen, I've worked with Fable in the past, but when I tell you guys that I am absolutely and have been obsessing over Fable, it's like my new go-to app. So I feel like we all have known and heard about Fable for their book clubs. I am a member of quite a few book clubs on there. Fable has gotten this upgrade and it has turned into something that is so, one, aesthetically pleasing. Two, I feel like caters for readers. Like, it is the first app that I have found that actually caters towards every single thing that I want. You guys know I'm a statistics girly. I love tracking all of my reading. I love lists. I love recommendations. I love browsing like recommendations lists. Fable has it all. Now I'm using this to track all of my reading. Like, absolutely, I'm obsessed with it. They make it so much fun, which I feel like is everything for me. You guys know I keep my own little spreadsheet, but with this, it is like the first time that I've actually felt like so excited to go on an app and to like put in all my statistics and everything. I'm gonna take you guys through a little bit of a tour, but first of all, I want to show you guys how I imported everything from my Goodreads onto Fable. That way all of my previous data that I had from Goodreads is on this app, and now I'm just going on like a new clean slate and just using this one. I just went up here to the Goodreads list, and then it basically, we're just on this loading screen, and it's going to be importing all of my data from Goodreads onto this. That way I have everything that I need on the app. I have quite a bit of stuff, so it's taking a little bit to import, but while that is doing the import, I want to show you guys through all of the rest of the app that I just absolutely love. You guys are going to see my love for Fable. First off, I want to start with the homepage. The first thing you're going to see at the very top is this little "Did you read today?" If you love like having streaks on any other app and you love that feeling you get when you continue a streak, this "Did you read today?" and all you would do is "I read today." It does a little celebratory, and then you can track your progress. You can track your progress. You can mark the book as finished. You can see what percentage or page that you're in. I absolutely love. And then this is my homepage, and something else that I love about it is you can go up in this corner where it says for you. You click on it and you can change it from for you, which is a bunch of like stuff that obviously Fable is thinking that you will like, and you can change it to friends only, and then you can just see all of the feed from your friends that you have on Fable. That way you can go back and forth whether or not you want to browse everything or just see what your friends are up to. Which again, I feel like this really speaks to how much Fable cares about readers and really is up to date on what readers like it's in little things like this. Again, to highlight really quickly the book clubs, you can join book clubs on here. There are literally over 50,000 book clubs on Fable, and you can make your own book club. You can make it private or public for anybody to join. It is so much fun. Like I said, these are the book clubs that I am an active member in. And then we're on the explore page, which this has so much to offer and is honestly probably one of my favorite parts of Fable. I'm going to be so honest. First of all, we have Ask Scout. This is a way to get book recommendations and find your next read that I feel like is so much fun. So you go, let's find your next read. So for example, at the bottom we have some little prompts. Say, suggest me emotional novels about friendship. And then down here it's giving me some recommendations on some emotional books about friendships, which I really appreciate this, because sometimes I have this like niche book that I want, and I've been talking about how I want more emotional reads. So definitely going to put Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe as want to read, because I actually have that on my physical TBR and I've wanted to read it for a while. Y'all, they have so many lists with diverse reads, diverse authors. I am absolutely obsessed. Sometimes I literally base videos based on the lists that I go around and look at. So we have some new releases, and I feel like so many of these I have not even heard of before. We also have Motherhood Unhinged Book Club. You can browse by genre, and they have this little like bookish Tinder, so you can go through and build the TBR of your dreams. So basically how this book is popped up, you can click finished it, want to read, or skip. I have finished it in this case. The Anxious Generation I've heard some things about, and I would read for nonfiction reads, so I'll put for want to read, and it gives you recommendations and stuff. So many different lists for you to choose from to find different books that are being talked about right now. Also, they have this mood quiz that you can take, and you can find out the next book based on your mood. So what genres sound good right now? I would probably say contemporary fiction, fantasy, horror, literary fiction, romance. Next, what are you in the mood for? I would say feel good, moving, mysterious, suspenseful, thought-provoking. Definitely a fast-paced read and maybe a medium. And then it's basically going to give me recommendations that match my mood. And it basically gives me book recommendations, and it matches it to the mood and the pace that I'm wanting. So for example, Vampire Academy, fantasy, medium paced, moving, and mysterious. And then we have imported all of my Goodreads data. So obviously these are all of my lists. And what I love about Fable is there is a did not finish. I love being able to catalog the DNFs that I have had. And then I have my 2024 reading goal down here. My reading goal is 125 books. I'm currently at 103. So I click on that and it just shows me all of them and the ratings if I have any, which some of these I need to update. And then we have my 2024 reading stats right now. So this little graphic, tell me it is not the cutest thing ever. So I have read 103 out of 125 books, and your reader summary basically changes every single time that you finish a book, and it kind of does it based off your mood. So right now it says, romance realist, your heart yearns for love's complexities, but I fear you might roll your eyes at any story with a perfect happily ever after. It gives me my average rating, and it gives you ways that you can share it, where I can make this little download where I can tap and hold, I can save it to photo, and then I can make my own little post on here. Y'all, look at this as well. Reader insight, so it shows me what books I read in what month and gives the graphic of the books. Tell me, like, guys, I'm actually obsessing over this. Right now my reading streak is 1 day. It shows me my most read genres, it shows me my average rating, it shows me the most authors that I've read this year. It gives you so many statistics that I literally love, and I put it in every single month, and it keeps me up to date and in a way that's very aesthetically pleasing to my eye. I actually could not ask for more. If you guys have fallen in love with Fable like I have, trust me, you need to download the app for yourself. I'm gonna have things linked down below to help you guys out. You guys need to download this app and see. It is the best bookish app, and I'm speaking 100% genuine. I have not stopped thinking about it, and I've had so much fun even just exploring the app some more. I feel like it offers so many different things that readers ask for in an app. It even has 5-star ratings. I forgot to how could I forget, has half-star rating. Thank you so much to Fable. So you guys need to go download Fable, import all your Goodreads data, and have a time. Okay, I feel like they have so much more to offer and they are such an amazing app. So thank you again to Fable for sponsoring today's video. Now I'm going to get back into reading Daydream right now, and I'm going to be updating on Fable as I go along. I did stop in the middle of the chapter earlier. I will say that Will is absolutely the worst. Kind of hate that I have to read some more of him. I hope we get, is it messy of me to say that I hope we get like some type of beef between the love interest and Will at some point? Like after Henry finds out. I forgot that this chair could do that. Hello. Hello. I don't know where the lighting is best. I guess the lighting is best over here. This is kind of giving me teacher vibes and the lighting is not absolutely great, so let's just ignore it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm in New York right now, so the Ultimate Reading Vlog has moved to New York City. I want to talk about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This is the book that I brought with me around yesterday. I planned on kind of going into different coffee shops slash bookshops and kind of doing some work and reading yesterday. Plans got derailed. That's okay. I was reading this at the event that I'm here for with my boyfriend. So I was at the event yesterday. Literally did not vlog any of my thoughts because there were so many people around, and I know it's New York, but it was an event and there was loud music playing. Like we wouldn't have been able to talk to each other. I think I'm about 50-ish% through this right now. I'm on page 156. I will tell you this, I literally think I got to this page like not even within an hour. The way that this book is formatted, the font is so big, it scratches an itch in my brain. I love when books have big fonts and they're kind of more floppy, and that's what this book is. Totally unrelated to like the quality of the book and my thoughts on it, but anyway, this book is very interesting. I want to preface any of my thoughts with kind of preconceived thoughts that I had about the book last year. This book came out in 2023, I'm pretty sure, and I feel like I had seen it a few places. Oh my gosh, I did not read this forward. I didn't even know it was here. It said Lori Gilmore. I wonder if this is like a, what do you call this? An alias. Because Lorelai Gilmore, if you watch Gilmore Girls, this literally feels like it's in Gilmore Girls. Lori Gilmore writes small-time romance. Her Dream Harbor series is filled with quirky townsfolk, cozy settings, and swoon-worthy romance. She loves finding books with a perfect balance of sweetness and spice, and strives for that in her own writing. If you've ever wished you lived in Stars Hollow, or that Luke and Lorelai would just get together already, then her books are definitely for you. And here's the thing, that kind of ties into some preconceived thoughts I had about this when it was kind of making its way around last year. And one, I thought that this book was one of those like small cozy mystery books, because looking at this cover, it gives the same exact vibe as those books. And then I did a little bit of like digging, not really, just looked the book up and found out it was a romance. But I thought it was like a I don't even know, because the author name being Lori Gilmore, I thought it was somebody trying to write like a Gilmore Girls fanfic. I swear these were the thoughts going through my brain. So I didn't pick it up, and then I saw like so many people picking it up this year, and I was like, you know what, I love a good fall atmospheric read. I love Gilmore Girls. So let's give it a try. And I will say that after reading that foreword and being about 150 pages in, you can definitely tell that this town and the people are inspired by Gilmore Girls. Literally, they have this, their meet cute involves a baseball bat, is what I'll just leave it at. Basically, our main character, Jeannie or Jenny, I don't know, she has to move into this pumpkin spice cafe. There's like, imagine like a little, like Luke's. If you watch Gilmore Girls, it's like how Luke has his diner and then he lives above it. So that's what she does. She has to move in because basically her aunt was the one that ran this cafe. And her aunt has decided to retire and leave the store to her. So she leaves her like big city job in Boston and comes here. Basically, she's like scared off the bat because it's like small town vibes. I am saying that it's giving Gilmore Girls because you can tell that it is heavily influenced by it. Like the townspeople are giving you the same exact vibe as the townspeople in that show. And then like off the bat, he tells her about like the town meeting that he doesn't want to go to, but like he'll go for her. And it is kind of insta-lovey, but you know what? I honestly am just having such a fun time. Like I do not care. Fun and atmospheric for me as somebody who loves Gilmore Girls. It's such a fun time to feel like it's a book that is kind of the equivalent of that. And it's weird because even before reading the foreword, I was like, they kind of, in a way, like the guy, Logan, he gives you Luke vibes. He doesn't like being around the townspeople, not because he doesn't like them, just because of like his own personal stuff that he's dealt with, and he doesn't like going to town meetings. He's like very closed off. He just wants to stick to his work, doesn't want to go in town. And she is kind of not like sunshiny, but more like out there, really wants people to like the cafe, wants to make friends, wants to reinvent herself in this small town. That is what's going on in the book. I don't even know how to put my feelings for it because I literally just feel like I'm reading it, and it's not even, and I'm enjoying it, but it's not like I'm like super emotionally invested. It's just such an atmospheric book for the fall time, and I think it is literally so cute. And all of the little quirks that I love about Gilmore Girls, it has in this book, so I really like that as well. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm going to sit here for a little bit. I think we're gonna leave at around 9:30, so I think I have like 30 minutes before everybody starts getting up. I'm going to read this, and I'm also gonna bring it with me because I'm probably gonna like read in the car and stuff because we're actually staying outside of the city, so we drive into the city. Try to finish this today. It's not gonna be very hard because honestly this book is flying by. I don't even know if I had sat down and read this for like not even over an hour. We're already like almost 40% through. Very promising. I finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe earlier, and I decided to give this book a 3.5 stars. I finished it on the drive to the city, and I literally was walking around today and I was thinking to myself, like, it's somewhere between a 3.5 to a 4. I ended up settling on a 3.5. I know that I can be highly critical of books sometimes. That's just what comes with me. I'm very highly critical of pretty much everything in my life. I am insufferable. Okay. When I go into books like this, my expectations are a little, not low. That sounds really harsh, but it's not like I'm expecting it to be like my favorite book of all time. What I mean by all of this is like when you pick up a Christmas book, like a book that you're picking up because it is Christmas holiday themed, you're not going to think it's going to be a 5 stars, but you're picking it up for the Christmassy vibes to get yourself in that like holiday spirit, holiday mood. That is what I would compare this to, where it's like if it is just giving me the fall vibes that I'm looking for and it's a good time and I'm not like overly cringing at the book, it's doing it for me. It's doing what I wanted the book to set out to do. It's the same way if I picked up this and it's a horror book and I wanted it to kind of spook me, unsettle me, be really good and twisty, it's gonna get a high rating. I decided to give this one a 3.5 because, like we talked about earlier, it gives you that Gilmore Girls vibe because the author, I feel like, very heavily takes inspiration from that show. Even like the little fall festivals in this book, literally I was just watching Gilmore Girls like 2 nights ago where they were having their fall festival. It fully kind of feels like a Gilmore Girls fanfic, so I was kind of right I was kind of right when I thought about that the first time that I'd ever seen this. It was enjoyable, it gave the fall vibe, and also it's funny because how I was talking about how the cover of this book gave me the same vibe as like cozy mystery books. There actually is like a subplot of I would call it like a cozy mystery. It's not even like a whole driving force of the book, but I feel like it does things to further their development within their relationship. But it was fun. I really like the fall atmosphere of the book. I will say what makes it 3.5 is because the relationship... What was that? Their relationship definitely was very surface level. It was very insta-lovey. It didn't really feel like an emotional connection between the two characters. Like, these characters don't feel like fully fleshed out characters whatsoever. They feel very much two-dimensional. You give them a little bit of problems, but we don't even spend a whole lot of time. And that's the weird thing, is that this book is literally almost 350 pages, right? Not a long book, but not a short book either. And I feel like it was very fast-paced, but in a weird way, I'm like, I don't even know what happened in their relationship. I feel like not a lot happened. We're just here, but honestly, I'm not even thinking too deeply about it because, like I said, as long as it was giving me the fall vibe that I was looking for, that is all that mattered to me. Oh, didn't see you there. Giving you guys a, oh, I went to put my finger as the bookmark and just shut the book. So I'm finally getting to Truly Devious. I think this book has been sitting on my TBR for, I want to say, 2 years now. This is a young adult mystery book, and basically our main character, what is her name? Stevie? Main character Stevie goes to this like boarding school. Picture kind of like, I almost want to say a dark academia vibe. Like, it is this very rich man from like the 1930s. It's his big kind of manor slash estate that he made into a school. He's very much wanted to teach kids through like games. He thought learning should be fun in this way, and basically you apply, but it's basically just like showing your interest for the school, and then you get accepted, and then you go for free. The acceptance is only like 50 people per year. Like, it's a very prestige type of thing, but not in the way that like most academia books are. I feel like kind of the theme is that every single kid kind of has their own unique talents. So she gets accepted into this private school. You kind of get this then and now perspective. So at the end of every single chapter, you get the previous perspective from the 1930s of a murder that happened. Truly Devious is the murderer's name. In the beginning, one of the characters from the past point of view is from New York. The school is in Vermont, so it's kind of a nice little vibe while being here in New York to read. I'm like 70 pages in right now, which I think is around like 15, 16, 17% through the book. And I will say I'm not judging it too harshly right now. I'm just not loving it. I want to keep going with it to see if I end up liking it more. I'm gonna head back into this one and keep on reading Truly Devious. Hello everybody, I am now back home. We have really traveled all over the place in this video. I thought that we would kind of finish off this video doing a few things. First and foremost, let's talk about my reading. I'm also wearing this Read More shirt. It says Read More on the front, and I love it, and it's so cute. And then it says, I'm the happiest with a book in my hand. I'm gonna put the shop that I got it from down below. It is so cute and so comfy, and I actually don't know why I started talking about my outfit. Oh, on trend with my shirt, we're talking about my reading for today's video. It has been truly all over the place. I don't know if it's just been how chaotic my life has been for the past like week or so, but reading has been all over the place. I started off this video talking about how I was reading Daydream. Oh, it's not Daydream, it's No, it is. Yeah, Daydream. I got about 67 pages in. I literally stopped in the middle of the page because something about the writing in this book was really rubbing me the wrong way to where I literally could not get through it. And I don't know if it was just because, again, I was so all over the place mentally that I couldn't like focus on what was happening because my anxiety was up here, everything was going on. But I kind of put this down, and even in my Patreon, I was like, guys, I don't know. Like, it was to the point where I was literally like, I don't know if I want to pick this back up. We'll come back to it. And then I picked up You again, and I think I got like 30 pages or so into this book. I really didn't like our female main character in this book. Like, she was really rubbing me the wrong way within those first 30 pages. So then I put this one down, which also I'm not going to completely DNF this book. It was more of a soft DNF. And then I ended up finishing a book finally when I picked up the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Then again, reading was all over the place. I picked up Truly Devious, and I think let's see how many pages I got into this one. I was around the 100 page mark into this book. I didn't know if I was like in the mood for a kind of mystery, and then I put that down almost 100 pages in. Anyway, that has been my reading history throughout this vlog. So now we're kind of back to the beginning. Here's my thing. Truly Devious, since it is such an atmospheric read and vibe to it, I kind of want to wait until I have one of the gloomy, rainy fall days, pick up this book. Maybe when it's a little bit more foliage outside, not almost 100 degrees, and it's at least gloomy, because I feel like the rainy vibe is going to be perfect for this book. Then we have these 3 left. With You Again, I'm honestly just not motivated to read this right now because it's the female main character, and it wasn't on my monthly TBR in the first place. It was more of something that I thought would be a nice read while in New York, because it actually takes place in New York City, which I did really like that aspect when I was reading it and we were literally driving through the city and I was sitting in the car reading it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good time. I digress. Okay, so now we have these 2 books left. Now I'm a little weary to go into the Cinnamon Bun bookstore because I feel like, will it be too similar to this one, like if we read both of these? But then on the same hand, I'm like, but should we read both of these since they're in the same series? You guys can get both of me. You guys will be able to get both of, nope. I almost said it again. But then again, I kind of want to pick up Daydream because this is my book club's book pick for this month. Okay, so I want to pick up Daydream. One of you guys in my Patreon actually told me that the audiobook is really good and would probably help me. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is pick up the audiobook and listen to it for a little bit. And that's actually such a perfect thing because I want to show you guys something else that I've been absolutely obsessed with while listening to my audiobooks to kind of help me. Okay, ever since I have moved into this house, I have been absolutely obsessed with listening to audiobooks and coloring. I feel like before, a few months ago when I started doing this, I had not like actually sat down and colored something for the longest time. And then one day I was watching somebody on YouTube, I think it was Cozy K, and she was using these coloring books, and then I went and looked them up and I found some and bought some. They're like the cute little coloring book. But then I ended up looking it up and finding some cute fall Halloween themed ones. These are little storefronts. This is so cute, you're joking. Literally, look at this little bakery one. Look at that. That's adorable. Look at this little coffee shop one. Oh, I did start doing one in here. It's the little bookshop. So I started coloring this one in. Basically, this has been my like audiobook activity, or one of them, is that I sit down with one of my coloring books and I just kind of color for a while. Then sometimes if I'm really into the audiobook and I've been coloring or I've been doing something, I'll also go and pick up my Switch and play Animal Crossing. I love reading, but sometimes I want to still read but feel like I'm decompressing and kind of taking my mind off of you know, and I've actually been feeling very lately, so I am actually really happy that you guys recommended the audiobook to me for Daydream. So I'm going to color a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't know if I am falling into a book slump or not. Let's talk about it. This whole entire time that I've been trying to read, I have felt like I am just all over the place and not super motivated to do so. I got a little bit more into this. I think I'm like over 100 pages in. I'm on page 117 right now. I feel like I am probably just getting into a book slump, which is so ill-timed. Can I just say, for a book slump to be delivered to my front doorstep that I did not ask for is so ill-timed, since this is getting to my favorite season of reading. I will say, let's kind of take this apart a little bit. I do think that I am also, though, just extremely not in a place right now where I feel emotionally available, and also I feel like there's a lot going on personally and just up here wise that maybe reading doesn't feel very available to me right now. I have Gilmore Girls on, and I think there's a dramatic scene going on. If you hear that in the background, putting pressure on reading is not working out for me. It's not. I just feel like I'm going into a book slump, and I don't want to like force myself and then make it even worse, because I am so excited to read. So I'm not going to judge this book off of that just yet, and I may finish it leisurely before the month is over. When I feel myself kind of getting in these moods, I usually do just rely on audiobooks. So I might continue audiobooking this for the rest of the month, but as of right now, like I said, on page 117, could not care less. I'm like not attached to them at all, and I don't know if that's speaking to this book or just speaking to me personally. But I did still want to do a few more things with you guys. First of all, I ordered more of these, and these are, I forget what these are actually used for, but when you see books like displayed on my shelves, they're with these. I think I ended up using clips in this video from a previous vlog that I filmed where I kind of went through to unhaul some books and then moved some things around. I recently, funny enough, got some very beautiful editions of the Maple Hill series. I really loved Icebreaker, I loved Wildfire. That's why I think I will like Daydream, but I'm just not in the mood to read right now. I just think that's translating everywhere, because I tried to pick up like 3 other books on top of this one, and those didn't work either. Because there are instances of this book that I think are cute. Like I really like Henry, I like how forward he is. I like that he very much is kind of all out on the table. Like he is like, you don't have to guess with me, I'm going to communicate with you. You guys know I love communication. So that's where I'm at with this right now. My floor is kind of messy right now because I have all of the stuff that I'm doing for a giveaway on Patreon on the floor, because I need to get those squared away. I do have a open bookshelf at the bottom now, because I did make the executive decision to unhaul all of the unread. Like I had a dark romance shelf, literally only 7 of those books that would sit on the dark romance shelf were read, because I feel like I went through a dark romance phase when I was like 19. I'm 21. I feel like I was going through that phase then, and ever since then I have not picked up a dark romance book. It's just not something literally for like 2 years that I've been into, like to want to pick up. So I was like, you know what, realistically these books are never going to be read. Explaining an unhaul to you guys is absolutely crazy. So I got rid of that, and I think I'm just gonna make it a continuation of my sports romance shelf. Okay guys, well, that did not take me very long, literally at all, but I basically just did some little displaying. They look a little off right now. I may mess with them a little bit more even, because they're just not exactly where I want them to be. That's what they are for right now. I feel like I cannot get the full scope of things because I have all of these boxes on my floor, so I need to get those sent out ASAP. That is the end of today's video. I wanted to take you guys along originally of like a reading vlog, and I feel like I'm in a book slump as we talked about, so I wanted to show you guys through like all of the bookish kind of reading related things that I've been very into right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like the style of video, then let me know. If you hate it, I'll never do it again. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff that you guys know what to do. And thank you so much again to Fable for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna have them all linked down below, which also actually reminds me to update my streak that I have going on right now with reading, because I did read today, so a success for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.